Hi there, welcome to English for Real, and today we're going to break down the 4 phrasal verbs. I consider these phrasal verbs as advanced phrasal verbs, and all the sentences I'll give you as a translation for these phrasal verbs, I do consider them as being advanced. Not easy to understand. We have some different contexts here or different ways of structure in English. We gotta understand a little bit better, and I'll try as well to expose here some idioms present in this sentence and about pronunciation to try to read this sentence in a way that maybe or more similar to what native English speakers would do, okay, when they are talking naturally. Let's go. What are the 4 phrasal verbs? Brush up on something, weigh on something, zero in on something, and down on someone. All of them, I consider them as being advanced phrasal verbs. I'll give you a sentence in English first, and after that, I'll give you the translation trying to show you something about pronunciation and about the different words that maybe we have in these sentences. I do not consider this sentence so easy to understand. Okay, first one. Experts reveal shocking truth. Brush up on these 5 skills to skyrocket your career. One more time, let's go. Experts reveal shocking truth. Brush up on these 5 skills to skyrocket your career. It was the English version. Let's say it in Portuguese. Especialistas revelam a verdade chocante. Aperfeiçoe estas 5 habilidades para impulsionar sua carreira. Then you can see here this sentence in Portuguese. The phrasal verb we were focused on is brush up on. The meaning of this phrasal verb would be aperfeiçoar. Okay, aperfeiçoar. I particularly, when I'm using this phrasal verb, the word in my mind was the word that I left here in parentheses, the word revisar. That's the word when I'm talking in English and when I have to say something about revisar, I use this phrasal verb. Brush up on, brush up on. Always when I was having classes on Cambly, I was talking to my teachers and I was studying at that time, I always said to them, oh, yesterday I brushed upon this or that material. That was the idea. And I think it sounds this way. You gotta understand about brush upon. No, aperfeiçoar, que é você aperfeiçoa porque você está revisando, você está vendo novamente. I think that's the real idea about this phrasal verb. Okay, in this sentence you have the word skyrocket. Okay, sky, cell, rocket, foguete, and the idea is exactly this image you're seeing here. When you to skyrocket use as a verb, the sentence was to skyrocket your career. It means a sua carreira vai decolar, né? Vai melhorar, is going to take off, is going to skyrocket. This is a good way of expressing this thought. Skyrocket, to skyrocket. Phrasal verb, brush upon, aperfeiçoar, revisar. And a good word to use, a good verb to use in our vocabulary is the word skyrocket. Second sentence. Celebrities weighing on the hottest fashion trends of the season. You won't believe what they're saying. Moving on to translation into Portuguese. Celebridades opinam sobre. Weigh in on. Opinam sobre as tendências de moda mais quentes da temporada. Você não vai acreditar no que estão dizendo. Then when you use this phrasal verb, weigh in on, the idea is opinar. Opinar sobre. Celebrities weigh in on. Okay, opinam sobre. Third sentence. Investigators zero in on the suspect in a thrilling plot twist. You'll be on the edge of your seat. Reading one more time, okay? Investigators zeroing in on the suspect in a thrilling plot twist. You'll be on the edge of your seat. That's a very good sentence, I understand. It's a complex, advanced sentence. First, zeroing on. Zeroing on, I do believe you can use as focus on as well. In this case here, the translation is: investigadores concentram-se no suspeito em uma reviravolta, remember, twist, reviravolta, twist, emocionante, thrilling, da trama, plot. Você ficará na ponta da cadeira. Here we have this interesting construction, because in Portuguese would be the opposite, okay? Twist comes first, in English is at the end in the sentence. In this situation, thrilling plot twist, thrilling plot twist. Seria literally here, in order, translating in order would be emocionante trama reviravolta. That's the way they say in English. You need to be familiar with this construction sentences to really understand this sentence, thrilling plot twist. And one more thing we have here, you be on the edge of your seat. This is an expression, to be on the edge of your seat. And to be on the edge of your seat is exactly this figure here. This figure represents that. Now, when you are anxious to see what's going on, or when it's a situation when you're waiting for that because you were pay attention to this. That's the idea when you're talking about you be on the edge of your seat. And the fourth sentence is: astonishing realization dawns on researchers. The cure for a common disease may be closer than we think. Here we have this idea. Realização surpreendente começa a surgir. Começa a surgir is dawns on, nos pesquisadores. A cura para uma doença comum pode estar mais perto do que pensamos. In this situation, this começa a surgir, dawns on, and to understand this phrasal verb, remember this image here. Because dawn as a noun is amanhecer. Then if something is dawning on, it means está começando a amanhecer, está começando a enxergar. And about pronunciation in this sentence, be careful about the word closer, because closer is Z sound, but we have close, close as an adjective is S sound, but too close as a verb, and now you have Z sound. Some persons, especially Brazilians, they understand, oh, this is not something you have to worry about, but I understand as a teacher you need to know this and you have to pronounce the right way. And Rachel's English, to me, is one of the best teachers on YouTube teaching about pronunciation. She always emphasizing it. Then I believe to native English speakers, this is something you have to pay attention to. Sound better and to be totally understandable. Okay? These were the 4 phrasal verbs today. I hope you have good understanding about these 4 phrasal verbs. And now try to put into practice these phrasal verbs, making up for the other words that usually we use in daily conversation. Because we're Brazilians, most of the time we try to translate literally what we would say in Portuguese and trying to say the same thing in English. For example, the verb opinar, probably you're going to look for opine. That's the verb in English, but it's not so common in English. It's more common in English to say, oh, I'm going to give my opinion, or I'm going to weigh on what you're talking about. Then this way, it's easier to understand them because they use these phrasal verbs. You're going to know the meaning of these phrasal verbs, and your vocabulary is going to express better your thoughts in English, okay? Forgetting a little bit Portuguese, and this way your English will be more fluent. Next video coming up with more expressions to all of you, okay? See you guys.